What's up peeps, how's it going? Dave here. Today we're looking at 10 tips for the vanilla sniper. When I say vanilla, basically I just mean the basic sniper rifle as opposed to the bow or anything like that. I thought it'd be worth sharing some of the things I do. These tips are quite personal to my playstyle, but maybe you'll find some of these interesting. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Tip number 1 is don't wait. Don't wait for headshots, don't wait for charge shots, don't wait for specific targets even, just shoot. Sometimes you'll hit bodies, sometimes you'll get headshots, but if you're constantly shooting, it means you can constantly get out that damage. I'm running around, every time I see a target, I'm immediately taking a shot at it. I'm obviously aiming for the head, but if I get body shot or miss completely, it doesn't really matter, I just try again. If you wait that extra second or two for like a better target to come around the corner or to charge your shot up, that extra second's going to be critical. That enemy's probably long gone by then. Also, the more you shoot, the better you'll get at shooting. Those headshots will get more and more regular. There is of course the odd occasion where waiting is worthwhile, basically when you're pretty much guaranteed that shot. These guys are pushing the cart around this corner. Looks like there's a heavy using his minigun. I may as well charge up my shot, might be able to take him out in one go. You know, I'm pretty certain he's going to come around that corner, so it's kind of worthwhile waiting that extra second or two here. This second one's an obvious one, but definitely worth mentioning. It's about looking out for those momentary advantages you can get from predictable movement. It could be that jumping, falling, or parachuting enemy that allows you to predict exactly where they're going to be in the next split second, so you can pull off that headshot. Another example I see a lot is when enemies need to retreat, so you can wait to get the shot on them. Here a demo man's damaged and he's hiding behind this corner. It's only a matter of time before he retreats to the right, and all I have to do is make sure I'm ready for the shot and I can finish him off fairly easily. There are other examples as well, just hints within the game that something's about to happen. Here I see a medic beam following this scout. I know there's going to be a medic close behind, so I wait around just a second and I can get a fairly easy kill. Remember, if it's you who's damaged and needs to make a beeline for the health, make sure that's the craziest beeline you've ever done. Peek out, go back in, walk in circles, whatever you need to do, just make sure you're walking really unpredictably. By focusing on popular areas of the map and using choke points and corners, and making sure that your aim is roughly at head height, most of the work is already done for you, and all you've got to do is wait for the enemies to come to you. Keeping the dot at head height means that you only really have to think about that one axis, and if you're looking at a choke point, you know the enemy's got to come through it, and all you've got to do is let them walk into your sights. It depends slightly on what kind of game you're playing. Payload has loads of great choke points and corners to use. Control points maybe less so. In this example I'm playing on Hoodoo and just keeping an eye out on this choke point, keeping my dot at head height. As soon as I spot an enemy I zoom in and already his head's under my dot and it's a super easy kill. On this second example on Gold Rush, I poke around this corner, zoom in at head height, there's likely to be an enemy around there. The next second an enemy comes around the corner and he's immediately under my dot and I can finish him off. There's two types of movement to mention here. The first one is the wriggly, strafey kind of movement, which you should be doing like constantly. You never know when another sniper could be watching you, so it's always worth moving unpredictably and strafing left and right. The second type is a more general kind of movement I tend to do throughout my gameplay. It's partly to do with relocating. Obviously, if you've been spotted, you need to relocate. I play very aggressively and I kind of move with the cart, and I kind of jump around and get in the action. It's just how I enjoy playing. In these examples in the background, I've got one attack and one defense, showing me kind of moving forward and backward with my team, so the enemy doesn't always know where I am and I can stay in the action. We're pushing out, taking shots as I move forward. I see some snipers, take shots at them, but just continue to move forward with the cart. I'm never camping in one spot. Move back as this pyro comes towards me. We finish him off and then I continue to move forward. Obviously if we're struggling to get out of the gate I would probably stick in spawn, but if things are moving forward I just move forward with the game. When you do get to a nice spot like this, you stick around as much as you can. As soon as the enemies sort of dry up or they've spotted you, then relocate and find a new angle. Make sure you're aware of what's going on around you, and don't stay scoped in for too long. If any other class can sneak up behind you, then you're pretty much dead as a sniper. On this first example, I'm on Barn Blitz, and just taking a few shots at these guys, working my way up, taking a look down here, but zooming out quite regularly, and I noticed that there's this heavy just behind us, who could potentially cause a lot of problems. So I'm able to focus my attention onto him, take a few shots at him, and help take him out. If I was just focused down the middle of the map, he could have potentially done a lot more damage. In this second example, I'm defending this final point. If there's no clear target, I'm just going to take a quick look around. Here I spot a demo man who's trying to sneak onto the point, and I'm able to chase after him and actually finish him off. This last example here, it's actually from the same game. I'm just taking pot shots. There's quite a few of them over there. Just de-scoping for a bit, taking a look around. Notice that this blue beam that signifies that there's a sniper somewhere in that direction. Take a quick look over, spot him in there, and I'm able to take him out. As a sniper, you're a spy's favourite target because you're focused in down a narrow field of view and you're a pretty easy pick for them. So if you spot one, try and hunt them down and just don't rest easy until they're taken care of. I use the Razorback. If you're not using that, then you're going to just have to try and stick next to walls to cover your back. As a sniper, you're usually going to be behind your entire team, so you might be the first one to actually spot a spy, and therefore it's worth kind of considering it your responsibility partly to try and take them out when you can. In this example here, my Razorback gets destroyed, so immediately I turn around and frantically wave my frying pan around like a lunatic. But I'm not successful, so I'm just super paranoid now. I'm kind of continuing to shoot, but at the same time continuing to spy check and look to my left and right. By continuing to occasionally zoom in, you're kind of making it look like you're not aware, so the spy might actually come back. Here I spot him in the corner of my view, and I'm able to chase him down, and I think I get at least 1 or 2 whacks on him. He's escaped again, so here I'm just pretending to I am shooting, but then I'm keeping an eye out too, and he comes back, so I'm able to finish him off. Here I spot one just starting to cloak. I'm able to get a couple of no-scopes onto him, then I lose him. Again, really paranoid now. Taking a look to see if there's any shots I can make, but at the same time keeping my eye open to see if he's going to sneak up behind me, because he probably will. He probably can't resist a lone sniper. And then yeah, he does come back, so I'm able to finish him off. No scoping isn't ideal, but it's worth not underestimating it, because it's surprising how many kills I've actually got by just doing an odd no scope here and there, just seeing what happens. It's particularly good for a couple of situations, and it applies more for snipers who don't have a secondary weapon like an SMG. I find it particularly great when facing scouts in close quarter combat. Here I've come around this corner, I spotted a scout, I'm kind of on my own, I'm a little bit screwed now. I tried to take a quick shot at him there, but it's not going to work, so I feigned retreating, and then I came back round towards him, took one no-scope shot at him, and then I was able to finish him off with my pan, and avoided being taken out. It's a similar kind of thing in this second example here, where I'm on Thunder Mountain, I'm going over this bridge, I come around the corner and I spot a demo man. So I'm in a bit of trouble now. What I'm going to do is, because I've got my sniper rifle out and I'm pretty much facing him, I'm going to take that first shot with a no-scope and then quickly flick over to my melee weapon. He actually retreats and I don't get the hit, so I'm able to get the second shot with my no-scope and then finish him off. You have to just kind of assess the situation. If they're charging in up close, get the melee weapon out, and if they're sort of keeping their distance, you can no-scope them. So in this last example, just going around this corner, spot this little battle going on, why not take a shot with my no-scope, and it was enough, just that 50 damage to finish off that enemy. It's no loss for me if I miss or if it doesn't finish him off. If you see that opportunity to do a no-scope, just take it, you may as well, and you'll be surprised how many kills you might get. I also find it good for spy checking. You can do that very quickly and easily, and it kind of freaks them out. If they do take 50 damage, they might uncloak and think they've been discovered. So yeah, worth spy checking with the no-scope. Try not to get caught up in a sniper fight. Treat a sniper pretty much like anyone else. If there's a shot there to be taken, take it, but don't waste time waiting around for that sniper to reappear, playing that classic two-fort game where there's 3 snipers on each balcony just taking turns to kill each other. You could be providing way more value to the team by just not getting bogged down in a sniper battle like that. Just keep moving, stay in cover, and if there's a sniper, take the shot. If not, try not to worry about them too much. And here I come around this corner on Barn Blitz, and I spot a sniper in the distance. Quickly after, I notice that there's a demo man just up here, and he's throwing down a lot of spam, probably a much more worthwhile target and an easy one to kill, so I'm going to take him out instead and not worry too much about where that sniper is. On this example on Hoodoo, I spot a sniper straight away there, and again I'm not going to spend too long waiting around for him. They're pushing the cart forward. There's much more important things I can be doing, so I'm actually taking shots onto these guys pushing the cart. Not worrying too much about if that sniper's looking at me. I'm just making sure I'm strafing, moving around a lot. Take another quick look up there just in case he's around. He's not, so let's not worry about it and just keep moving forward and help out with this team and the defense for this game. Surprisingly, as a sniper, you're one of the NG's biggest threats. If you see a sentry and you're not in its range, it's definitely worthwhile taking advantage of your long range and applying pressure to that NG and that sentry. And often you're able to, either alongside a soldier, take it out, or sometimes if you take out the NG first, just completely destroy an NG's base. A couple of quick examples here, just pushing the cart into this last point. I spot an NG up here, he's carrying a building. I don't know if that's a level 3 or not, but let's just start taking him out, and once I've finished off the NG I can work my way onto the sentry. I get a little bit of damage on, so I panic a little bit there, and then I'm back on the sentry. It's only a level 1, but if a scout's trying to push, that might just be enough to finish them off. In this example, I'm pushing on Barn Blitz. I spot a level 3 just around this corner. There's no real way we're going to push this cart to the last point without taking that down first, so I may as well make that my priority. Obviously keeping an eye out for any other shots I can take, like I see that soldier on the balcony over there. But then as soon as I've done that, just returning my attention to the sentry, and then alongside the spam from the soldier and elsewhere, we're able to take out the sentry, allowing our team to push through to the last point. This last tip again depends on kind of what your playstyle is. It can be a lot of fun to go on a bit of an adventure depending on like how well your team's doing, and see if you can find some really cool new spots and interesting angles to attack the enemies from. Obviously getting behind the enemy or around the side of the enemy is a pretty good thing to do with any class, but with a sniper it gives you that kind of valuable extra time to really aim your shots well and get those headshots. If you're in front of the enemy, say a heavy comes along, he's going to start shooting at you and that jolts your aim. Or if it's another class, again they spot you, they're going to start moving even more crazily, and then that makes it harder to hit, or they're going to take cover. This is an example from Thunder Mountain where we're pushing and I find the opportunity here to actually sneak round to the left. I take a shot at that demo man and I'm a bit worried he's going to follow me, but I see in the kill feed there that he's finished off, so I can actually carry on my way. So now I've found a nice little spot here. It's pretty well hidden and it has a fairly decent view over the battlefield. So as these enemies come out of spawn, I can take my time and get some nice headshots and slow the defending team down. This last example, we're on the last Gold Rush map, and I'm just shooting along this sight line to that choke point. They're actually starting to push forward a bit now, so I decide instead of going towards my spawn, I'm going to camp it out in here for a bit. Hopefully they'll forget I'm in here with all my team applying pressure, and that should be enough to distract them, so I can wait for them to push the cart right on by. They actually get an Uber here, and then I'm able to take my time and line up a couple of shots. And even though a much better player could probably do a lot better than I do here, I'm still able to get some nice picks, take out a medic and a heavy, and slow down the push. So there's some of the things I like to do when I'm playing sniper. There are a few kind of side points, more minor tips worth mentioning, like Hide your dot obviously if you don't want the enemy to be aware that you're there. Make sure you stay healthy. Be prepared to melee a lot, especially if you don't have like an SMG. And also get those opening shots when the game first starts. You'll be surprised how many oblivious enemies you can just take out immediately when the gates first open, and you may as well take advantage of that. I hope you enjoyed this, I hope you found some of it interesting, and I'll see you in the next video.
I'm moving this.